I'm Kultu Shaw. I'm here to take you home.
Tracker, part of CBS Premiere Week on CBS.
Yes, it feels like fall, but it's still officially summer. I'll tell you when we get back to those hotter, sunnier conditions. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Kamala Harris finishes her trip to Michigan with her VP pick, Tim Walz. We'll have the latest on her visit. Plus, the DNR is expanding how many e-bikes are allowed on state-owned trails. We'll tell you about the changes that were approved today. And some students learning to sail have their final day of the class. We'll see what kinds of lessons they've learned. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Well, we had a stint of rain today, but things have been pretty clear since then. Well, other than the clouds. Air, are we expecting any more rain throughout the night?
Overall, we should be fairly clear as far as precipitation goes, and those clouds are starting to clear out, but don't be surprised if they hang out over on that northwest coast. And we do have some showers still for the far east and along Lake Michigan. Look at this lift bridge. There was a gorgeous sunset out there, some very deep blues as well. We do have some clouds still in the area. Again, those are going to be clearing out. Our lows are going to be in the 50s, so expect it to be fairly chilly if you've got a morning commute, or especially around 5 a.m. and we could see some precipitation there in Escanaba around 6 or 7 in the morning.
All right, thanks very much, Air. And Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz continued their tour of battleground states, delivering remarks before auto workers in Detroit, Michigan. The event came as former President Trump fielded questions from the media and agreed to a debate with Harris in a month. Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have agreed to hold their first debate on September 10th, with additional debates possible.
She's barely competent, and she can't do an interview. But I look forward to the debates because I think we have to set the record straight.
Trump, who has been off the campaign trail this week, made the announcement during a press conference from his Mar-a-Lago resort, where he dismissed Harris's momentum.
The honeymoon period's going to look. She's got a little period. She's got a convention coming up. It's about policy. It's not about her.
And compared her recent campaign crowd sizes to his own, including the one he drew on the day of the January 6th Capitol attack.
If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at the picture of his crowd, my crowd, we actually had more people.
On day 3 of their battleground state tour,
We want dignity for all people.
Vice President Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, spent an extra day in Michigan, speaking to members of the United Auto Workers in Detroit.
We know that unions built the middle class. The rest of America has to. You know who doesn't believe that? Donald Trump.
Union President Shawn Fain also addressed the crowd.
Donald Trump calls me stupid. You know why? Because he thinks auto workers are stupid.
Harris and Walz are set to rally supporters in the border state of Arizona Friday, while former President Trump holds a fundraiser and campaign event in Montana.
During his news conference, former President Trump also said the campaign has agreed to have his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, face off against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz in a vice presidential debate on CBS. And the DNR is allowing more access for Class 1 e-bikes on state-managed non-motorized bicycle trails. A new land use order going into effect today now allows for their use on improved surface and natural service trails in state parks and on state forest pathways and roads. DNR State Trails Coordinator Tim Novak says the change will make trail riding easier for people who might not have been physically capable of riding a traditional bicycle. A Class 1 e-bike is described as being pedal assisted and can go up to 20 miles per hour. In Dickinson County, Iron Mountain's Pine Grove Country Club hosted a business after-hours event tonight, and it featured about a dozen local organizations. While the chamber organizes events year-round, tonight's was sponsored by Schrader Administrative Solutions and First National Bank and Trust. Organizers are aiming to bring the community together and showcase what they do.
Something moving and shaking at the chamber. People say they get a lot of emails from us. That's because we have a lot going on.
Everyone just doesn't know what we do as small business owners. And so I thought it would be a great idea if we could all get together and share in a business after hours.
Registration for the Chamber's annual golf outing at Oak Crest Golf Course starts at 9 a.m. Central tomorrow. And tonight in Gladstone, a group of students braved the rain and waves to learn some important skills on Little Bay de Noc. This summer's 2-week sail school taught nearly 50 students about different types of boats, how sailboats work, and sailing safety. To demonstrate and celebrate their knowledge, the group competed in Hawaiian-themed sailboat races. Instructors say the skills these students have learned are critical for anyone planning to go on the lake in a place like Gladstone.
Of them have never been on a sailboat or have never been on a boat by themselves. We have a lot of young kids. They learn problem solving. They learn how to build their self-confidence. It's more than just sailing that they come away with.
Took this class because it's like a fun thing to do. It's just I like sailing a lot. My family has a sailboat and I'll be able to help around in the boat, which is nice because I understand the fundamentals more, especially living by the Great Lakes. It's a nice skill to have to be able to sail on a boat.
Next year, the Gladstone Sail School plans to move to a 1-week format to offer more classes throughout the summer. Federal health officials are getting the word out that as kids head back to school, it's critical they get their routine vaccinations so they're protected against diseases like measles. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Parents like Erica Grand Prix want what's best for their kids.
We are our little ones' only defense against everything in the world, right? Introduction to everything good and protection against anything dangerous.
So hearing about cases of measles in her home state of Minnesota is a concern.
The talk about it, I've read it in the news over the last few years. Every time you're like, really? I thought this was gone. I thought this was something of the past.
There have been more than 200 cases of measles reported in 27 jurisdictions this year, more than triple the number of cases reported last year. Most are among children under 5 years old who were not vaccinated or their vaccination status is unknown.
We are seeing more cases of measles, and that is because measles is very contagious. It's one of the most contagious viruses that are out there, but we have a way to protect ourselves, and we want to make sure everyone is getting their vaccination.
New CDC data shows among children born from 1994 through 2023, about 500 million cases of illness, 32 million hospitalizations, and 1,129,000 deaths will have been prevented through routine childhood vaccinations.
I'm traveling around the country reminding folks ahead of going back to school, make sure your kiddos are up to date on their measles vaccine as well as polio and others. It's our best defense against some of these serious illnesses.
CDC Director Dr. Mandy Cohen says while we did see some children fall behind on vaccinations during the pandemic, they are now catching up.
Earlier this year, a CBS News investigation identified at least 8,500 schools where measles vaccination rates among kindergartners are below that 95% threshold that the CDC identifies as crucial for protecting a community from measles. Record numbers of Americans are hitting retirement age in 2024. The Alliance for Lifetime Income estimates about 11,000 a day are turning 65, and millions of them will start using Medicare. Jill Schlesinger says people receiving the government health insurance still need to plan for major medical expenses.
65 million Americans currently receive Medicare for health coverage, but still face plenty of out-of-pocket expenses. A new report from Fidelity Investments reveals that a 65-year-old retiring this year can expect to spend, on average, $165,000 for health care and medical expenses throughout retirement. That number has more than doubled since 2002. Those expenses include premiums for Medicare Parts A and B, prescription drugs, and other costs like co-payments, co-insurance, and deductibles. The number is expected to go up about 5% every year, so people who are currently working need to plan for these expenses now. If your company offers it, enroll in a high-deductible health plan paired with a tax-free health savings account. If you leave your job, you can take your HSA with you and even use it decades in the future. If you don't have access to these plans, consider creating a separate investment account reserved just for health care. Putting a little bit of money away every month can help make sure you're covered during retirement.
Air's next with your weather forecast. Plus, the Marquette County Fair kicked off today. We'll bring you to the scene to see what's in store for the next few days.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. And take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable. Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to buy get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Marquette.
And don't forget,
Experience the soulful tunes of Marquette's local musicians this summer with Music on 3rd, a series of sidewalk concerts held every third Thursday from June through September from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 3rd Street in Marquette's downtown district comes alive with the eclectic sounds of talented artists, providing the perfect backdrop for an evening of exploration and entertainment. Join the community in celebrating the vibrant culture of Marquette. Music on 3rd is sponsored by Flagstar Bank at WZMQ 19.
Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Direct.
Don't you ever look up at the sky and roll your eyes. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
He holds the line.
I resent it, and I resent you for doing it.
Mathis Court is in session.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with Air Stasic.
For the moment, our skies are dry, but we're expecting widespread rain into our weekend, my friends. And our temperatures still in that cool range. Tonight we'll be dipping down into the 50s. And yes, it did feel like fall. It is not fall. We are still officially in summer. You're definitely going to want a hoodie or a sweater or both. Maybe a winter hat if you are walking out there. And hot cocoa, always a great idea over the next 48, maybe 72 hours. Fall is returning in 45 days in September. But until then, we'll take these cool summer days, right? Remember that heat wave, everybody? We were all sweating around. We've got breezy conditions to blow around those rain showers for the next few days here, and we are expecting that to continue, like I said, into this weekend, maybe slowing up on our Sunday, so that's something to look forward to, as well as some drier, warmer conditions returning next week. But until then, we've got winds and cloudier conditions and rain showers, and those temperatures still in that 60-degree range. Some of us could be in the 50s. Here's a look at what's happening this evening. Again, that northwest coast, that's where most of our gusty winds are going to be. Here's a look at 9 a.m. on Tanagan, around 25 miles an hour winds pushing around there, and then peaking around 7 p.m., hitting maybe 31 miles an hour. Escanaba, not to be left out of the mix there, with around 22 miles an hour. Marquette, later on that Friday evening, could have gusts up to 23 miles an hour. So something to keep in mind if you've got garbage night on Friday night or Saturday morning. Hourly forecast for tomorrow, those clouds are increasing throughout the day, as will our wind speeds here in Marquette, and those chances of rain showers. So if you've got activities planned outside, make sure you've got, like I said, that jacket, hoodie, maybe an umbrella as well. Here's what we're looking at for those clouds and showers in the morning, starting over on the west side there, before we see them kind of hit the everywhere basically by 1 p.m. The south portion there staying a little bit drier than the rest of us up north here, and then some heavier showers possibly for, again, that Keweenaw Peninsula. Saturday morning, same kind of story, but again, those showers mostly staying on the northern portions and then kind of hanging out over in the east. That'll continue for the night as well. We're not expecting any severe thunderstorms or storm weather as for the rest of our weekend here. And Sunday, like I said, is looking a little bit drier and calmer. Here's a look at what we've got for those temperatures tomorrow. Like I said, in the 60s, it's going to be kind of chilly out there. So if you've got weekend events planned, like, we've got the Marquette County Fair going on until Saturday. Looks like your best day to make sure you stay dry is probably on that Saturday. I've got the outlook for Escanaba as well as that Italian Fest in Iron Mountain in 15 minutes.
Thanks, Aaron. Speaking of the fair, WZMQ 19 is a proud major sponsor for this year's Marquette County Fair, which began today at the fairgrounds in Sands Township. Our John Truitt was there for opening day.
For 34 years, the Marquette County Fair has been delighting families with all the sights, sounds, and tastes of summer in the UP. One thing that is the very definition of the fair experience is the food. Sure, they have all the standard fare like French fries, funnel cakes, and lemonade, but they're also serving up barbecue brisket, gyros, and the perennial crowd favorite Croatian chicken. Owner Jeff Delmont says people often come to the fair just for his chicken.
We do have a lot of people that roll in that come to the fair just to get chicken. We hear it all day long, you know, they complain they got to pay to get in the gate just to get some chicken, you know. And we love all of our customers, but we really love the ones that come just for the chicken, eh?
One thing you won't find at this year's fair are mechanical carnival rides. Gone is the Tilt-A-Whirl and the Ferris wheel, replaced by the Fun Zone, a kid-friendly and locally owned bouncy town. Fairgoers like Tyler Beatley like the new, more relaxed atmosphere of this inflatable village.
This setup is awesome. The bounce house is bringing a lot of people. The kids are running around having fun. It's all gated in, so it makes it really nice. The kids can just roam everywhere.
There are enough cute animals to fill a petting zoo, daredevils and acrobats, a classic car parade down memory lane, but the real essence of the fair has always been its connection to agriculture and livestock, where rural kids get to show off their prize animals. Fair President Walt Mackey says the fair rarely strays from its agrarian roots.
We still have a livestock auction. We have over 100 animals in our barn right now. Our chicken barn has over 100 poultry. So the main core is kids and animals.
Still to come this weekend is the Junior Livestock Auction, equestrian events, a fun run, and a cooking competition. The fair will run through Saturday with gates opening at 10 a.m. each day. At the Marquette County Fair, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
And in international headlines, more about the plot to attack a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna, Austria. The suspect, who was planning an attack outside the concert, told investigators he was prepared to die with the intent to kill as many fans as possible. Nicole Skanga has more.
Welcome to the Eras Tour. The world's highest grossing tour in music history, stopped in its tracks by a terror threat. Authorities say this 19-year-old suspect pledged allegiance to the Islamic State last month and planned to pose as police, driving a bomb-filled car into crowds outside the stadium before attacking fans with knives.
Zusammengefasst kann man sagen, die Lage war ernst.
Austria's interior minister called the situation serious, saying a tragedy was prevented. Police say they combed through the teen's home and found machetes, knives, timers, and explosives. They also found bomb-making materials, according to a source familiar with the investigation, plus an emergency siren. Investigators believed that device would be used to get through security, with suspects disguised as law enforcement. Also in custody, a 17-year-old alleged accomplice who is working for a contractor at the concert venue. Today, throngs of fans took to the streets in solidarity. Would-be concert goers shaking it off, gifting friendship bracelets to police officers. Even without the shows, Austria's Taylor Nation still singing her lyrics in defiance.
Michael Udlum has your look at sports coming up after the break.
You do some serious entertaining. Cedric the Entertainer and Tony Braxton team up for a Vegas variety show.
Comedians, we get out the way when the music acts come through.
Plus, the incredible cast of The Girls on the Bus. Then come sightsee with me on The Jennifer Hudson Show.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, nominated for 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Talk Series. Weeknights on CBS.
Discovering the perfect paint for your home has never been easier with Zinsser Smart Coat. Plan smart with interactive tools at smartcoat.com. Buy smart in-store or online for home delivery. And paint smart with this advanced paint and primer in one. Say hello to Zinsser Smart Coat, the next generation of intelligent paint.
Who will be there when the final whistle blows? When the final votes have been cast? Who will be there when we need a warning or a laugh? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. Whether it's on air or behind the scenes, there's a world of opportunities waiting for you. Be there as history unfolds. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
And I'm Mike Ludlam with your sports. Good evening, everyone. The Detroit Lions have had shared practices with the New York Giants this week. Some scuffles led to $200,000 fines for both teams. Tonight, the question is, can they open the preseason schedule in peace? Well, it looks like they did. That's the good news. First quarter, Drew Lock for the Giants over the middle. Oh, intercepted by Brandon Joseph. He returns the ball 20 yards to the Giants' 35, but no movement on the offense. Jake Bates, a 53-yard field goal. First quarter, 3-0 Detroit. Let's move to the second. Just in Lions territory, handoff to Eric Gray, and the second-year back out of Oklahoma finds a path and will streak into the end zone from 48 yards, and that gave the Giants a 7-3 advantage with lots of congratulations, as you can imagine. Later in the second quarter, another handoff to Gray, and that is a 1-yard run to make it 14-3, and guess what? That's all you need to know. Final score, Giants 14, Lions 3. Packers visit Cleveland on Saturday. 81 golfers are putting their skills to the test at this year's Upper Peninsula Association Golf Tournament. This year's event is at the Wawanoan Country Club in Ely Township. That's in western Marquette County. And we found the 14th hole to be just a bit windy and challenging. It's a par 4, about 375 yards. Jordan Mason of the home course, Wawanoan, with a nice putt. That will fall a few inches short of the target after a small left turn. Next, Matt Topol of Menominee Riverside, also with a good-looking putt, good speed, just takes that extra turn to the left. That seemed to be a theme on this hole. He would get the easy tap in. The 2022 champion, Chris Block of Marquette Golf and Country Club. He knew that was going to be short as soon as he hit it, but he would tap in from there. Carter Mason of Wawanoan is up next. He had the best chance to sink a somewhat lengthy putt, but again, that left turn, no luck on that one. Hopefully things were better on 15. Now for the next group, and first round leader Chris Rhodes representing Marquette. Shot a 300 par 69 yesterday. Ooh, almost, but not quite. Scores, well, we'll take a look at those right now if we could. Your leader is couple-time champion Mark Clements of Wawanoan, a 66 today. He's at 136, so he is 6 under par today. Tyler Anila, also of Wawanoan, a 69 for a 140. He is tied for second with Chris Rose of Marquette, who had a 71 today. Scott Prunick of Marquette, a 72. He's at 143. And Terrace Bluffs Matt Argall has had a 74 and a 146. That's 2 over par. Tournament wraps up late Saturday afternoon. Former University of Minnesota Duluth and Michigan Tech men's hockey head coach Mike Surdich has passed away at the age of 77. Surdich led the UMD program from 1982 through 2000 and the Huskies from 2000 to 2003. He guided Minnesota Duluth to 3 WCHA regular season titles, both of its league playoff championships in 1984 and 85, and its first 4 NCAA postseason appearances. He was the recipient of the 1984 Spencer Penrose Award as the American Hockey Coaches Association Coach of the Year after his Bulldogs advanced to the NCAA title game against Bowling Green. That took place in Lake Placid, New York. Falcons fell to the Falcons, 5-4 in 4 overtimes. He played his college hockey at Minnesota Duluth in the mid to late 60s. He often joked about his scoring prowess he possessed, 2 goals and 7 assists in 64 games. One of those goals did come against Michigan Tech's Tony Esposito. Again, Mike Surdich has died at the age of 77. For the first time in nearly 40 years, the Northern Michigan University men's basketball team will host Michigan State for a preseason exhibition game Sunday, October 13th in Marquette at the Superior Dome at 1 o'clock. Tickets and broadcast information for the game will come later. This will be the first visit for 30th year Spartans head coach Tom Izzo to his alma mater to coach a game. Izzo, if you don't remember, graduated from NMU in 1977. These two teams met last in 2018, a 93-47 win for the Spartans at the Breslin Center. When the two teams met in 1974 and 75, NMU's starting lineup did include Mr. Izzo. Let us turn to the Olympics, and the women's basketball team in its quarterfinal game against Nigeria. Aja Wilson gets the layup here. She had 20 points in the contest. Team USA up by 11. Brianna Stewart will make a layup on the same end after a steal. And it was 52-33. That came right at halftime. USA won 88-74 and advances to the semifinals tomorrow against Australia. And in case you didn't hear, Quincy Hall won the gold medal in the men's 400 meter with a time of 43.4 seconds. And yeah, he had to rally big time to get there as he's going to pass 3 runners to cross the finish line. So that's what you call a comeback. Let's turn to baseball. The Brewers, the Atlanta Braves, wrapping up their series this afternoon. And Milwaukee had 5 home runs. Let's just keep this simple on the highlights. 5 homers for the Brewers. That's William Contreras. That was good for 438 feet. Number 13. That made it 2-0 Milwaukee. And Jackson Chourio would hit the first of his 2 home runs on the day. He now has 14. Brewers win this one in a semi-softball slugfest by the score of 16-7. Tigers and the Mariners. Tigers lead 3-1 in the 7th inning, and we will be right back.
Giving it a ride, still sailing.
Shop hundreds of Lazy Boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
25 years of fun and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night farmers market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette TDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, nominated for 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Talk Series. Weeknights on CBS.
It's Diamond Days only at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. It's the perfect time to get her that diamond she's always dreamed of. Loose diamonds are 20 to 50% off. Engagement rings and wedding bands are up to 30% off. We have updated our showroom to give you the ultimate diamond and jewelry buying experience. Come see how diamond buying should be at the UP's engagement capital, exclusively at Richardson Jewelers in downtown Marquette.
Richardson Jewelers.
For
For most people, their second biggest purchase is their vehicle.
It matters what you buy and who you buy it from.
Selection matters.
Riverside has 7 dealerships and 10 different brands.
Certified matters. Shop our huge inventory of certified vehicles at riversidehasit.com. Trade-in values matter. Riverside gives you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Selection, quality, and price. What matters to you matters to us at Riverside Auto Group.
I'm Sophia Murphy at the Capitol in Lansing, only on WZMQ 19 News.
It is brisk out there, baby. We got about 55 here in Marquette, a little bit warmer for our friends over in Newberry with around 61 degrees. Remember, those temperatures will be mostly in the 50s tonight. Some of us hovering in that upper 40s, but should hang out there. Now, if you're going fishing tomorrow, Blades Bait and Tackle fishing forecast looks like your best chances will be in the afternoon when there are more clouds. Those winds, though, are going to be quite gusty down there, up to around 20, 25 miles an hour, so just be prepared for that. At the moment, those waves should be about 0 feet, but it could, get a little choppy with those winds gusting around. And then Iron Mountain Italian Fest this Saturday. Again, make sure you've got your jacket for that event, as it's going to be breezy there as well. Those chances of showers kind of dissipating as we get throughout that day. And then Buzz the Gut in Ishpeming, rev it up, and make sure you've got, again, an umbrella for that event.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Despite cloudy weather, things were bright at a popular Delta County sunflower field for its first day of the season. Hall Farms is now open to visitors who can walk through the sunflower field, pick flowers for $1 each, and enjoy kids' activities. These sunflowers only show their faces for about 10 to 14 days. Despite the short season, Hall Farms draws 8,000 to 10,000 visitors a year, and it's become an especially popular photography destination.
Kind of amazing that it's turned into what it is. Started out by some kids wanted to take their senior pictures, and then we had a couple engagements. We've had 2 weddings because it's so pretty. How do you not be happy in a sunflower field?
The cost for admission is a donation, and Hall Farms is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. while the flowers last. And I did not know sunflowers had such a short lifespan.
Well, I'm sorry. They're also very delicious.
Are they?
Well, the seeds are.
Well, the seeds are. Yeah, I don't know about the flowers. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Instant games from the Michigan Lottery. With dozens of games to choose from and millions of dollars in prizes. It's instant fun for everyone. Introducing $300 million Extraordinaire with top prizes of $6 million.
Are you ready?
It's coming.
I say, are